There needs to be a profound letting go, a profound surrendering. And it is not easy, because we clench and we grip those things that it's trying to take from our lives, because those things are such a strong part of who we are. And while we may not want them, we're addicted to them. We're addicted to our fear. We're addicted to our anger. And there's no getting away from it. Deep, deep inside, it is a pattern of who we are. And so how we deal with that is we stop resisting when it rises, because we don't want it there anymore, even though we're conjuring it up and allowing the thoughts to keep recreating it. And at the same time, we say, I don't want that there. What we need to do is stop resisting the physical feeling of fear or anger or depression. Stop resisting and lean in to those things that feel so scary that are living inside of us. Lean into the fear and stop being so frozen and rigid. And feel your body and lean in to whatever that thing is you're trying to avoid. Pain, fear, grief. And just feel like it's a person that you're hugging. And just let go and lean in and just embrace it and become one. Become one with your fear. Become one with your anger. Don't react to it and project onto other people. Just send it love. Embrace it as if it's the greatest person you've ever loved, and embrace it with love. And stop your mind from forming any story around it. Do not get creative in your imagination, pulling from the past to the future. Drop your creative imagination about what might happen, what has happened, how you need to act this way because here's how the story goes. Stop thinking. Be in the presence of now. And in the presence of now, the totality of that includes this moment of fear or anger. And because we are in the presence of now, there is no past and there is no future. We are embracing what is in ourselves and in others. We say yes to the moment. We say okay to the moment. We stop being tight and rigid and in this frozen survival mode, because it's a habit. And that frozen is taking up all the space. It's taking up all the space for the light. We've got so much frozen and pushed down just to make it, that we haven't allowed ourselves to warm up and be free and let it melt. And that's how we embrace and melt into the fear. We've been trying to control things for so long. There was no room for the fear. We needed to survive for so long. We couldn't feel those feelings. And the kundalini energy rising is fire, and it's melting that, and we are resisting. And the war gets really intense sometimes until we bring some awareness to what's actually happening. Is that we are not in control of our lives. We are not in control, very little, of what happens to our body or what happens with other people. What we can do is bring some awareness and some consciousness into our patterns. When it's very clear that things really aren't the way we want them to be, and yet we can't stop ourselves from acting a certain way. So, stop thinking. The Buddha said, if you want to solve your problem, stop thinking. Because thinking is depending on the past and the future. The mind depends on the past and the future to do its program. But the past and the future aren't really real. Now is it. So the presence is now. Mindfulness, presence, now. All your power is in the moment of now. And in that moment of now, whatever arises, we have the power and the courage and the strength to face that and turn the darkness into light. And let our body be at peace. Because when we hold things down, it weakens us. It takes everything we have. It stifles our creativity. It makes us cold. It's difficult for us to relate to other people or to be open about our feelings or to express our feelings, because we can't just unfreeze everything. And so we have to stay frozen and pretend we're not. And this will not allow us to grow spiritually. So creating the space means to just get rid of the ice within. And that ice within can be covered by the fire of anger. Because anger is very fiery, but we use it to hide the fear. Fear is always beneath anger. And the fear is a frozen thing. And so we just go moment by moment. And this isn't about religion. This is about something bigger than religion. It's about our body and the spiritualization of what inhabits this body, which is our soul, whatever you want to call it. We are in this body. The karma is working through this body. This body is connected to the senses, and the mind is thinking that it is these things. And these patterns that we've developed, we think we are these things, and we keep playing this part and doing this karma. Of course, we're going to do our life and be who we are. However, we don't have to identify so deeply with something that is temporary. And so moment by moment, it will help the energy to keep a friendly relationship with us, rather than it feeling more wrathful because we are holding on, and so things have to happen to make us let go. Where if we just find a way to surrender and relax and stop resisting, things will flow. And it's scary because we feel our survival is threatened. Like it can be a dangerous feeling at times. However, we have to be willing to go there if we really understand the purpose of our life, which is to awaken from the dream of separateness, which is to awaken and expand out of the reptilian brain. The reptilian brain is what's connected to this first chakra. And that reptilian brain doesn't have to be rational. It just has to survive. And it just has to keep making more of itself. However dark itself may be, it doesn't matter. It just needs to keep getting more to keep itself alive. So this is connected to our first and second chakra, that reptilian brain. And this is the sympathetic nervous system. And when we want to raise to a higher consciousness, we activate the parasympathetic nervous system. When we do things like chanting and pranayama and meditation and yoga, where we are focused on the breath and the presence in our body, we switch from the reptilian brain, but we have to keep doing that over and over again because the kundalini energy can trigger it at times. And at times it will move into triggering the parasympathetic nervous system. It just depends on where we're at in the process, which is not totally in our control. What is in our control is what we are identifying with moment to moment. Don't identify with your thoughts. Don't take them personally. Don't think they're you. Don't identify so intensely with your body that you think you have to control everything that happens within your body, because this energy is bigger than us, and we have to learn to trust the process, care for ourselves, create space so that we can feel and see and have the peace of not being cluttered psychically, emotionally, and mentally anymore. Because everything gets pushed to the surface, and it can feel like a lot sometimes. But a Kundalini awakening is the thing that happens to every human. No need for religion. It is the spiritualization of consciousness, rising from animal to the divine, and trying to find the love for the animal and the understanding for the animal. And this is how we move from darkness to light.